And we are live, back once again. Shout out to the poppers, the floppers, and all the rampagers. It is your boys from the West Coast POPCast, coming back with the West Coast POPCast. Your boy, the final boss, hosting this week. Zach is off on his comedy tour, and Eric, the Infinity Champion, is joining us as well. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of people to bash, to give their kudos to as well. And of course, we're going to talk about some wrestling, movies, video games, and pop culture here on the West Coast POPCast. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button and subscribe button. Definitely support your boys, man. We've been going it's going to be 4 years strong, bro. 4 years strong with the team. 3K subs. Really thank you all for supporting us as we continue to get this content out for you guys, whether it's a podcast or a tier list we just uploaded. We got those for you, or some of these live events we've been joining on the indies. So much content coming out, and we're going to try to maintain a consistent schedule. That is definitely one of the goals. Just a lot of stuff we got to balance out. But Eric, how you doing this week?
I'm doing A-okay. Thank y'all again, like he said, for the subs. 3,000 and rising. Man, it's a crazy ride. You know, you've been with us day one. You've been with us from the flopping. You've been with us from the Rampage streams. We're so glad to have y'all.
Definitely so glad to have you guys, man. Really, everyone jump in the chat. I see you guys already jumping in there. Phantom X, Mr. All Power. It's not Zach. No, it is not Zach this week. Zach is on his tour, on his break, his hiatus, if you will. But I'm sure he'll jump in the comments every now and then. So keep commenting because he'll be there. It's been a big week for you guys. A lot of stuff to talk about. We're gonna get into it for sure. But first things first, man. Before we cover anything else, they put out the trailer for 2K24 last week. A lot of great stuff popping off. They had a Roman visual, so you could see Cody's perspective getting speared at Mania last year, and losing. It was a great trailer they put out. Then they put out some pictures with Cody, Rhea, and Bianca because they're the cover superstars. Yeah, and all you see is just bashing and a lot of the typical BS we get on the internet, especially the black women even more. Bashing Bianca. Why is she even here? What does she deserve? All this nonsense. I'm not gonna get into it. But I just want to put this out here so we can talk about it, Eric. Then I will let you have the floor. We got to stop this nonsense, man. Bianca is if she retired today, she's a Hall of Famer. So we're not gonna discredit these black women anymore. We're gonna give them their credit. We're gonna give them the respect, and we're not gonna have this nonsense. She's the first black woman to be on the cover of any 2K WWE game. So shout out to the EST, and with all that nonsense, y'all just hating, stupid hate.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous thing to be upset about. I'm sure there've been other covers that maybe you can have a problem with, but not this one. Rhea and Bianca have been killing it. Cody is Cody. This was a good cover. This was a good idea. I don't get where the hate's coming from.
Yeah, we're not gonna disrespect EST like that. So, and not just EST, but all black people, black women in the industry. They've been killing it, and they're not all the same. I'll put that out there. Not all the same. Just because you're black doesn't mean you're the same. Need to be the same, team. We're all different characters. We all do our thing. We have our different things we bring to the table. So shout out to Bianca killing it, being on the cover of 2K24. That's just my piece there. But speaking of killing it, being on the cover of things, lending your likeness, if you will, your voice to something. Our Infinity Champion. If you haven't seen it already, check out the voice acting, the Beyonder, if you will. Eric, man, what can you say about this?
Yeah, if you guys check out the post I made, I want to say last weekend. I got to do a little voice piece as the Beyonder in a Death Battle inspired video. It was cool. That was a nice little dive into it. I think I recorded. It took fucking 2 hours to do and had it out quick, but I actually got a couple more projects coming out too, so I'll let you guys know. Appreciate Knock for checking it out as soon as he did and hyping me up for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. All Power, for checking it out.
Have to. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got a new guy in here. What's up, Ron? Mr. All Power, we appreciate you, man. And of course, Phantom X, Beyonder from Marvel.
Yep. The specifically the version from Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, voiced by Lawrence Fishburne.
I was glad you got that role actually, because you always talk about Moon Girl and Dinosaur. So it just made sense to me. It was cool to see that.
I'm not gonna lie. There were a few roles out of this before that. And I was like, oh man, this is on my list. There was a few Black Panthers, a few Miles Moraleses that I didn't get. So like when I got beyond there, I was like, all right, this is one that I should have had on that list. So I'm glad
They couldn't see the vision, man. They didn't see the vision. And to all the people that denied my boy, the price just went up. With the word is out. Oh man. But yeah, shout out to that one. Definitely check out the video. And if you, hey, put the comments in. Comment on the video. Let them know you're here for Eric.
I appreciate all y'all for doing that. I'm truly touched. Have you seen what's that show called? Has-Been Hotel yet, Knock?
No, but I've heard about it. I know about it.
Okay, I know if there are a few channels doing fan dubs on them, and I finished recording the first episode for one of them. So when that drops, I will send y'all the link. And I will hide the rest of it because I know there's an episode where my character sings, and I'm not a singer, so I don't know what we're gonna do about that. But
oh man, that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to everyone in the chat, man. And speaking of stuff coming up, we've had some differences of opinions on this show, but I was so happy to see Avatar: The Last Airbender get renewed for 2 and 3. When we found out, or when I seen the news that one of the producers on this show is now the new president of Netflix, I knew the show wasn't going anywhere. But I just wanted him to finish the story. You know, like we know Cody can't finish the story, but I wanted Avatar to finish the story. It has its ups and downs, but I thought it's still a strong cast, in my opinion. And I think with another season, you know, just put a little more season on there, let it marinate a little more. I think a strong season 2 bringing in Toph would be really good.
I will give them credit for one thing. I don't know because I know we're getting a new Avatar movie, but it's going to be when they're adults. It's not going to be like when they're like the aftermath of the series. You guys might get the redemption arc for Azula, which was something that the creators always said was planned for season 4 if they got it. So you guys will probably get that in the live action. If the creators, you know,
I just they were very like specific about 2 and 3, so they're gonna finish out the original stuff. I want to see if this 2 and 3 really take off, if they'll get that 4th season, because that'd be really cool to see live action. I'm not too sure if anybody in our chat or if you, Eric, did read any of the comics that happened after, but there was a lot of stuff, and what they did was really cool in the comics for that Azula redemption arc you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I don't remember. I remember the story where she and Zuko go out to find their mom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Does she get redemption in that one? I know they find her. I don't remember what happens with
No,
Zuko.
so I gotta remember exactly. It's been a while since I read them. There was an arc because, you know, Zuko, just because he won with Aang and he's now the new Fire Lord doesn't mean everyone likes him. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and Azula was playing from behind the scenes, like causing some issues in the Fire Nation with Zuko. People seeing him as a weak leader. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. I forget if that happened before or after she went on that trip to get to their mom. That might have been the last issue. I think that's when she had that redemption because, well, I guess I'll say a little bit of it too. It's been a while. So the redemption with Azula's mom, from what I remember, it was something about they were in some type of like forest, and like her mom she was forced into that marriage with Ozai, kind of. And they teased like Zuko not really being the son, but he was really the son. There's a lot going on there, and like Azula had a full breakdown, like she was in like the mental ward, all that type of stuff. So I think if they do that right, her story redemption arc might be stronger than Zuko's for live action.
I could see it happening. I definitely recommend the comics. Anyone who really liked, I'm sure you liked it as well. It's a good little shit that happens, and it shows you how Republic City came about for Legend of Korra.
Yeah, that's another good one. That's a good point too. And it shows you Toph really, you know, she couldn't really stick with one guy.
Yeah, that was something I did not see coming. I don't know how they came up with that aspect for her, but you know what? I guess it works.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of stuff with Avatar coming out. I know we have the continuation of part 4, like the season of the original series. We have a lot of going on there. So Avatar's business is booming right now.
Yeah. It's not for me, but I'm happy to see that like a lot of people are getting into it. Like a lot of people are checking out the original from this. So I'm happy for the fandom. Everybody's eating right now. Oh, I think you just went and mute yourself, Mike. Knock.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm here. So yeah, might even get a new avatar. Might even get the continuation of Legend of Korra with the third Earthbender avatar. Who knows? It's all big things happening. Speaking of big things happening, the Hall of Fame first two inductions. Bull Nakano. I think she might. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. She might be the first Japanese Joshi wrestler to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. She's on the Mount Rushmore, bro. She's all time. I don't know how much you've seen of her, but when I'm talking about like the greatest, like Manami Toyota, I'm talking Aja Kong, Gail Kim, all of them. She's right up there. This woman was a beast back in the day. All the crazy stuff, all the crazy moves you see in wrestling today, more than likely, a Japanese Joshi wrestler invented it.
All right. Yeah, I don't remember watching her matches, but I mean I know about her scope. So it's always kind of cool when WWE does this when they bring in outside talent. Even though he my thoughts on the Hall of Fame are known, I think it's just um but hey, still this I hope she's happy. I hope she enjoys. Wait, is she do you know who's gonna induct her?
That's the thing. I'm not quite sure. We don't know who's going to induct her yet. We also don't know who's going to induct the next guy coming up as well. Phantom X are getting there.
Yeah. Well, good for her. Hope she enjoys the ceremony.
Yeah. I think it's really well done. And I'm also going to keep saying this. Get Victoria, Tara, Lisa in there. She's well past overdue.
Yeah, absolutely.
But of course, yes, Phantom X. Paul Heyman going into the Hall of Fame in Philly. This is another one. He has a long list of people that can induct him. Who do you guys think in the chat? And Eric, who do you think should induct him into the Hall of Fame?
It's sad. Even if he wasn't banned from WWE, he still wouldn't. But my first thought was Brock. I was like, Brock will fucking take care of that. But he's not even.
That'd be hilarious.
He can't even mention him in the speech. It's just gonna be awkward.
He can't do that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna tell him not to.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little awkward.
Maybe it has to be someone from ECW. So, maybe JB. No, I'll say JBL would pop up and do a little funny thing because they have their little hate moment on One Night Stand. But
yeah, maybe. I mean, people have been saying like maybe an RVD. I think maybe. I mean, CM Punk is there. Maybe he can do it. I don't know his relationship with some of the other ECW guys. I know there's some bad blood with a few of them. I'm not too sure about, but there's a laundry list of people that can induct him.
Yeah, I was thinking RVD, but I think he's like probably pay per appearance with AEW, so maybe they could talk him into it. Maybe they could.
That too, and I think AEW is a little more lenient letting people go over there as opposed to WWE.
Which is funny because we've talked about how AEW takes too many shots at WWE, but they be giving WWE a lot of stuff whenever they ask for it.
They do, and this is why, like, honestly, I agree with some of the stuff TK says, man. There's a lot of some stuff gets built up a little too much. It's not that serious, but also there's some shady stuff going on as well.
Yeah. Also, props. TK has not made fun of Vince McMahon or Brock yet, has he? Like, he went after New Japan's guy, but this stuff I haven't heard TK say anything about.
Yeah, I think he knows. Like, I think he's taking it a little more easy, because he was wilded out. It's hard to defend that. He was definitely wilded out.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Paul Heyman, shout out to Bull Nakano. I'm very curious to see who else gets inducted as well. It's gonna be a long list. Are we still waiting on Batista? I forget. He didn't get in yet, right?
I think
didn't
he get in after the year after his
I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember it. I remember like there was an issue with like scheduling and then the whole pandemic thing, so I wasn't quite sure if he actually got in or not.
No, he is not.
Wow,
it was postponed.
Definitely get him in and well, and that reminds you too. Like when all the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff was happening, he was blowing up, and Vince was still in charge, running a mess of WWE. They could have really capitalized on that, bringing him back when he wanted to be back.
Yeah, he pushed for something for cross promotion, and Vince said no. This Marvel shit or this superhero shit is not gonna be worth it. Yep. Dumbest thing ever. But
exactly, man was lost the plot completely. But yeah, just let us know in the chat who else you want to see in the Hall of Fame as well this year. Definitely gonna fill out the ranks here. But next up, just a week in wrestling, real quick. We had some big stuff happen on the Raw and SmackDown. First things first, Drew McIntyre is making a strong campaign for the next year's Poppy Awards for Hater of the Year. This man has been on fire. Did you see what he said about Seth Rollins? Called him, what did I do to deserve the empty-headed dumb fuck like Seth Rollins? Do the whole CM Punk thing to the Hangman. I think he has to win it. He's on a run right now. He has to win at the Mania. I mean, if Seth's having 2 matches, plus he's injured, it's Drew's time to win in front of a crowd.
Yeah, Drew has to win. He absolutely has to. It's like he's on a roll, and it's building up to CM Punk taking the title off of him when he comes back.
Yeah, definitely building that up. We have Cody and Seth going after The Rock and Roman night 1. The Rock also acknowledged Roman as the head of the table, the tribal chief, if you will, on SmackDown. Dakota Kai turned on Bayley. I mean, there's little things with Dakota Kai. Once she changes her hair to that style, you know she's turning on her. She turned on Tegan Knox, she turned on Raquel, and now she turned on Bayley. So Bayley has no friends, and now Mercedes is getting money somewhere else. So she really has no friends right now. I don't know who could step up and help her out, but it's sad days for Bayley. And this is the first time I think we've seen Bayley as a babyface without the hugger gimmick, like I think ever. So it's really cool to see her really have this natural develop and really be this later in her career, stepping out to be this babyface. I think she can really shine and have a big win at Mania.
Do you like Dakota Kai turning on Bayley, or do you think she should have stuck with Bayley?
I like it because, you know, we want to see Bayley, all the odds stacked against her, you know, by herself. You know, when she won the championship last, she had a lot of help from Mercedes. So now to really do this, go against all the odds, she's going to look like Superman. She's going to be a huge baby face to do this. I think it's better this way. And I also think it fits Dakota Kai's character a little more. This is kind of what she does. She kind of flip-flops a lot, and she's better as a heel. She gets really vicious as a heel, and it's really good. On the other side of the women's division, it's looking like Liv is having a problem with Becky, and we might not get a one-on-one match between Becky and Rhea. Might have a Liv in there as well, and maybe even a Nia Jax, who, Eric, bro, she's been on fire. She's been killing it as a wrestler in ring. I gotta tell you.
I've heard people say her and Rhea was really good.
Listen, she's in the shape of her life, and she's pulling out all the moves. She's looking safe in there, but believable, like a force. She's not like most girls, and she's killing it.
Most drivers on the road, they let's say 365 days in the year. Most days of the year they don't crash, but there's someone out there who's probably had 2 or 3 car accidents. Does that mean that they're a safe driver because they somehow managed to get their shit together eventually? Nah. I will say this. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. People are saying she's getting better. Good. That's good. If she's taking the time to get better, that's good. That's always been my critique, that she has no reason to be as sloppy and bad as she is and act like she's good. But if you guys say she's getting better, then more power to her.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's looking good.
I mean, I still don't like her, but hey, let's see.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll win me over.
Maybe. I don't think she'll get any titles anytime soon, but it's a good run so far. And then, of course, Gunther beating the brakes off Dom. Pat McAfee's having a good little back and forth with Gunther as well on commentary, kind of trying to do his pose, trying to get him to like him. So it's a little good back and forth there.
Did you see the Dom video after the match where Rhea's like, "Why are you trying to get into a chop contest with Gunther?"
Yep, trying to get him his chicken nuggets afterwards as well. Oh man, yeah. At some point, I think they might have to split. Judgment Day is on fire right now, but at some point they got to go their separate ways. I think.
I'm worried about what. At some point they're gonna have to turn. I think Dom's gonna get kicked out soon because he's a great heel, but he doesn't get results. He just kind of loses.
It's true. He's the only one in there without no gold. I will say that.
Right.
You got to get him his gold. I don't know what. There's really not a championship from the win right now, honestly.
Really not. Yeah.
Championship, but.
Which, I mean, if they do turn, he's in a weird place where if you do turn on him, he's too good a heel right now. He gets heat everywhere he goes.
And that's what they need. So it's really tough.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But he's doing his thing. It's crazy to think year one, I was thinking this kid is not ready, but he is a legit heat magnet.
Yeah, yeah, you can't deny it right now at this point with him. But yeah, that's SmackDown and Raw that happened 2 nights ago. We had NXT, the return of Whoop That Trick. It was a good match
Yeah.
for the main event. Because Tony D, this is the GOAT against NXT Stand and Deliver for the title against Ilya Dragunov, who's been quoting everyone from Star Wars, from Avatar. He's looking like a beast in his training videos. Great stuff from Ilya Dragunov to get some attention in the title. But for his challenger, it was Tony D versus Carmelo. Good match. Tony D pretty much has Trick Williams. He plays a trick on Melo with Trick Williams' theme song playing, gets the victory. It's going to be Tony D versus Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver, a big Mania pay-per-view for NXT. While Trick Williams actually did return at the end of the match to take out Carmelo, and Melo was selling, bro. He was looking like Shawn Michaels selling back then. And so we're building up that match for NXT Stand and Deliver. We had Roxanne turn heel and beat the brakes off Lyra Valkyria, sending her in the ambulance. Your boy Dijak, he's wrestling like the rent is due, doing a moonsault off the cage like primetime TNA Kurt Angle. And then Sol Ruka made her return as well. Shout out to her. One of the things I think you might really find interesting, you might have to see the segment. Charlie Dempsey, who's now the NXT Heritage Cup champion, had a segment with William Regal, his son or his father, and he pretty much said, I will defend this better than you will ever do, and it'll go at it, having a back and forth, and William Regal couldn't stop smiling.
That was a really cool thing to see. I'm happy that I'm happy for Regal. You can see it in his face. He's so proud. That's a nice little moment there. Is Drew Lock trying to challenge for the cup, or is he what's he doing there?
So I'm still unsure about his positioning in this, but I think he's pretty much just like kind of playing in the background. He's not having too many matches. I think he's just promoting Charlie Dempsey's side.
Yeah, that's a shame. He's such a good guy. He deserves a good spot. I do want to go back to Trick Williams real quick because I know you have an issue later to talk about no selling, but I think that overselling from Carmelo kind of took it away from me.
It did for me a little bit, only because it wasn't fully in sync. That was the only issue with me.
Yeah,
if he synced up a little better, it would have been a little smoother and better.
I need to see during their match. I maybe like one sequence if he wants to oversell, but I hope he doesn't do the whole match like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have to really, really like lock it in and wrestle. Like show us some moves for the match. All this like other stuff besides that, building it up, I'm fine with. But for the actual match, really, really lock in there.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people are gonna be coming just for that match, just to see that payoff.
Yeah, because they built it up so well. It's so really, really good. It's been a long-term booking. So, and I think after this, Melo's kind of done with NXT. I don't think he needs to do anything else. That's why I think they're keeping him out of the world title picture.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because he started wrestling on SmackDown. He's ready to go. They just need to pull the trigger and start the build, and then Trick can start working his way on the NXT title picture and get ready to go.
That's what you gotta do. Have Trick go over here, put him. I think Ilya can lose the next review. I don't think Ilya needs to carry it much longer after this. So Tony D can take that L as well, Tony L, and have Ilya versus Trick Williams the next review.
Yep.
But real quick, just to take a quick break from wrestling. Of course, we're wrestling, pop culture, video games, and all that type of good stuff. Quick talks on the state of gaming. So anyone in the chat, man, let us know if you are a gamer. What are you currently playing? And then what do you recommend for us to play? I'll kick it off here. I'm still playing a lot of Overcooked 2 right now. We're still trying to get through those levels, trying to get all those stars. If you have someone to play with, man, it is rage-inducing. I hope you have a good relationship because you guys might start fighting. Whether it's a loved one, a brother, a sister, anybody, like that game is insane. Getting to those levels. Me and my brother every now and then we jump on Destiny 2, so we're playing through that as well. A game I'll recommend if you haven't played any of the Final Fantasy games, now's the time to jump in. And if you're thinking about, oh, it's a remake, there's so many different games, you can jump in at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and be okay. You don't need to play the previous games or the previous remake. So definitely recommend that. I haven't played Helldivers 2 yet, but I know people talk about it greatly. So I'll leave that to you guys. But Eric, how about you?
Let's see. I will recommend Helldivers 2. I'm obsessed with it. It is a fun game. It is. You feel like you're in an action movie sometimes with that thing.
That's what I'm missing, man.
And it's on PlayStation. If I knew that, I would honestly I should have bought it on PlayStation, but I'll PC's not bad. It's a fun one, especially if you have friends. We can always do quick joins. It's very very much in the style of what's Starship Troopers.
Okay.
You know, the whole they play up the whole you're fighting for democracy and everybody who you're killing is a socialist and bad. It's a nice fun. It's a fun narrative. Honestly, if I'm not doing anything, I'm probably on Helldivers too. So it's definitely worth it.
I gotta jump on.
It's replaced Power World for me, and I still haven't finished it. I still recommend Power World. If you haven't gotten into it, check it out. The creators have said that they are going to add more. Actually, I don't know if you saw this. There was a post. I can't believe this is real. There was a post for some farm sim game. I can't remember. And in it, they said that if we get this many likes, we will include sex in the game.
Bro, what? I did not know you go in that direction.
Oh, I was surprised as hell when I found this out. And they got the likes.
Wow.
So they added it. And then Power World.
PC game for sure, right?
I think this is a console game too.
Oh gosh.
So Power World responds and says, if we get this many likes, we'll add it to our game.
Wow.
But they surpassed those fucking likes. So it might be fucking happening. Fucking Power World's creators are fucking degenerates. So you might be trending again someday. And if they are, don't look up why.
That is insane. So that's what it's come to now. That's what the state of gaming has dived into.
The fact that people are liking it, they want it. I don't know what's going on in this world, but apparently so. Mr. Allpower saying Legend of Zelda. God, Legend of Zelda games are great on the Switch. I agree with that. I'm gonna get 2K24. The one thing that's hard about getting these new 2K games though is with each one the roster gets a little smaller. There's no Sasha Banks ever again. There's no
Brock.
If you're a PC player, there's Brock.
The PC pirate strike again.
Do you ever get to play Halo Infinite, Knock? Did we beat it together, or was that?
So no, we played. I think we played all. Did we play all the Halos together? I think we played a lot of. I think we played Reach and ODST. We played 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
4 and
4. Yeah,
we did play them all. But I didn't play. I played the beta for Infinite. I never played like it when it fully came out. I still haven't got fully into it. I've heard they've improved it. I did hear that.
I wonder if I played it after they improved it because I remember doing it and thinking I kind of just want to beat this just to beat it, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it's okay. Co-op was okay. It was kind of like they went the Far Cry direction, the open world, type way.
Yeah, I just like everyone keeps talking about AEW restore the feeling, but when Halo Infinite, when the first few days of that first beta, I felt like they restored the feeling, man. It felt good, and then I don't know what happened when the game released. Like it just, I don't know. 343 just haven't been able to really make a Halo game that can really hold the masses. No,
it's crazy, and they need it. The Xbox world needs it the most right now because exclusives aren't where it's at right now for Xbox.
Definitely not, man. I'm hoping to get on track with a lot of these games coming out. Like I'm really looking forward to Indiana Jones. I don't know if you ever played it's called Perfect Dark back in the day, but that remake that's supposed to be getting remade, like a whole new updated game. It's been in the works for so many years. I haven't heard anything new about it, but it's still being worked on, I think.
Which is worrying because I think we talked about this. I remember what video, maybe it was last episode, when the game is in development for too long. that's dangerous.
Yeah, it
You
is.
lose
It
sight
is.
of vision.
Because it kind of means they lost. Yeah. So hopefully that comes out in good shape because I'm looking. I like those type of games, so looking forward to that. Thank you everyone jumping in, letting us know. State of Gaming also, the Switch 2 is possibly coming out. That's looking at like either early next year. There's PS5 Pro rumors. PSVR 2, I put it on here because it looks like it's not really getting that much support anymore, which is a shame because I wanted to get a VR headset. I've been waiting to get one, and I feel like I'm waiting for it to see if Sony will keep up with more than a year or two of supporting their devices, and doesn't look so far for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's when it came out, I was hopeful that maybe they would bring some games, but you can only do so much with a console VR accessory. Like you're
Yeah.
not gonna like the meat of VR is either PC or the Quest itself, because that's like 99% of the games for actually not even just games. 99% of everything you can do is PC or VR stores. Just the PlayStation doesn't have access to.
No, and that's the thing. So I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing Microsoft held off on it for a bit. I don't even know how it's really selling, so we'll see how it goes. But as a state of gaming this week, we'll try to keep this up every now and then, see what you guys are playing, to just tap into certain things. I don't know if this last thing I will say. I don't know if Wolf Among Us Season 2 came out yet. I meant to keep an eye on that, but I was glad to see Telltale Games back, and I do want to get back into more of those.
We need to. I need to see what's it called? What's Borderlands on the new Telltale one? Because I've heard it's not as good as the original, which I love, but I still need to play it.
I'm sure like a lot of the talent from that development team left, which is a shame. But as good as the first one is, I got to give the second one a chance. That's kind of my rule there.
Yeah.
Um,
Real quick before we go on, just Mr. All Power asks, or actually, Phantom X says, I haven't played VR really. I want Apple Vision. And Mr. All Power asks, Apple Vision or Oculus? I recommend Oculus because from what I hear, Apple Vision is expensive AF.
Yeah.
Oculus is, especially if you get the Oculus 3. It's weird because Meta, for some reason, when they make them, they use processors and like that they don't need to, like inferior ones that like in 2024 or 2023 when it was out, like really shouldn't be used, but it is catching up, and you can link it to your computer to play other VR games. So I say go with the Oculus.
Yeah, I've played neither, but I think it depends what you're looking for. Like Eric said, I think Oculus is just got a little more to it. Apple Vision is crazy expensive.
Yeah. I'll say Oculus is the best like gateway into VR. It's affordable, and you can if you like it, then you can always work your way up. Right now, the latest one is the Oculus 3, or the Quest 3.
So yeah, Mr. All Power, if you ready to stop dropping money on, what, maybe you can save up for this one.
Yeah, actually, Mr. All Power, I heard. I don't know if you knew this happened. That taping at Revolution, at one point, the AC went out, and say cool, all they had was OnlyFans.
Oh gosh. Every week, man. Every week. Shout out to Mr. All Power.
Keeping it wet.
What else we got going there? And of course, AEW Revolution happened last week. Massive card. 16,000 people packed a stadium in North Carolina. Or actually, was it Virginia? Greensboro, Virginia? I could be wrong on that one. But you know what's next? 60,000 people packed the stadium. We had Sting's final match. We had returns, debuts. We also had $1 million gate for AEW. Massive success last week. Cool to see BCC come out as the Road Warriors. That was interesting. Julia Hart has one of the best entrances in wrestling, bar none. I love the pairing with Sky Blue. Definitely bring out the AEW Women's Tag Team Champions very soon. They should have a tournament very soon, hopefully. Especially with Mercedes coming. She's going to want that. They did lose the match. We had Kyle O'Reilly return. Did you realize it's been almost 2 years since Kyle O'Reilly wrestled in AEW? Like, how it doesn't add up to me, because first of all, I didn't know he was in AEW that long. I thought, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. It's been
It
off of
doesn't.
wrestling for 2 years.
It's crazy to think. I never thought I would say this. That Roderick Strong might be the most successful member of Undisputed Era in AEW right now, just
Yeah.
because of the injuries.
Just because, yeah, I mean, he's killing it right now with his whole gimmick with the Kingdom. As crazy as he, like, Kyle O'Reilly's been out that long with the injury. He didn't know if he was going to wrestle again. I'm interested to see how he builds himself back up. He didn't align himself with them. He's going to say he's going to go solo. He's been out so long. Feels like he fell down a mountain. Now he wants to go solo. First things first, I want to see him versus Danielson at some point. That's going to be insane.
Oh yeah, that has to happen.
We had, you got it.
I was gonna say weak return, as we talked about in the chat before. I don't like. Everyone in the chat attack Mr. Nushi. Let's do this. I'm Justice League attack. Flop at him. But yeah, weak return for me. The hug was cool, and then he just kind of like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I don't know. I thought there was a better way we could have done this.
I agree too. Like I love when like you have a return, you hit the music, get that pop. He kind of just appeared there, but it kind of was a callback to when he first debuted. He did the same thing. It was Orange Cassidy match, and he attacked him. This time he pretended to attack. So for that part, it was cool, but I think it just got kind of overshadowed how it happened. It was a little awkward.
Yeah.
Good to see him though.
Yeah.
Oscar-worthy performance from Mariah May came out. I definitely thought she was Toni Storm. That resemblance was uncanny. It was a solid match. Great build for Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo. The ending was kind of like, a usual ending with the interference. Danielson lost another good. This is his last year as a full-time pro, and he lost Eddie Kingston. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes out. I'm not mad at it because what happened on Dynamite last night, knowing Eddie Kingston, I feel like it's going to get fed to Okada very soon. Roderick Strong, like you just said, is the champion. And I don't know if you can see that picture of Swerve kicking the shit out of Samoa Joe, but the pictures for this event were amazing.
Oh man, it's Swerve's time soon. I'm happy to see it. I can't remember. Did they main event or did Sting?
Sting did. So there was a lot of confusion with what Renee said on the pre-show, but Sting did main event.
Okay, good, because that's the reason we're here. That had to happen.
Yeah, I thought no matter who you are, it'd been very hard to follow that one up. What else we got going here? But yeah, solid card. The only thing, like this card was damn near perfect. The only issue, like, was the 8-man scramble. Just kind of felt like it was thrown on there. You probably could have cut it or put Julia Hart on the main roster with Chris Statler and Willow and Sky Blue. But this damn near flawless pay-per-view. Shout out to them. $1 Million Gate, very successful. The next pay-per-view up, we're adding more pay-per-views to the schedule. Look, Tony Khan's going to aim for 9 pay-per-views a year. We got AEW Dynasty next month. Right now, after Dynamite happened, looks like it's going to be Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. Ospreay versus Danielson, which would match of the year. We're going to get to that later. The other one we're looking at is, I think it was, Mercedes possibly versus Serena Deeb. So a lot of crazy stuff going to be happening there. And then we're going to get the Toni Storm match. So this pay-per-view for a new one looks insane.
Yeah. Looks like it could be something good if they have all these champions on there. Also, we forgot to mention Christian Cage. Know how that match went on Revolution.
Yeah, it did. Christian Cage still killing it. It's funny because last night when Edge made his return, choked out Nick Wayne, Christian Cage ran from the entire stadium, and he threw a guy out of a car GTA style and took off. And on live television, we have Christian Cage performing armed robbery.
Oh God, I love Christian Cage, man. For so long I always said he was underappreciated. We all know that he's undervalued because he's so damn good. But this run of his has been amazing. I love it.
It is, man. And like I said to everyone, if you didn't watch TNA, this is what Christian Cage has been doing for years. In TNA, he had a group. He had the big man. He had the young up-and-comer. This is what he does, and he was like one of the most dastardly heels of all time. The big man, he was a former WWE guy. I don't think he did too much there. His name was Tomko. But do you know who the young up-and-comer was that he took under his wing? That Nick Wayne is now taking that position? It was none other than the phenomenal AJ Styles. He was in that. It was called the Christian Coalition, and now Nick Wayne has that prestige, that honor of being the next one up in that AJ Styles position. And Eric, I don't care what you say, you cannot tell me Tony Khan is not a TNA fan because I'm seeing TNA all across the board.
But I mean, we've talked about this last week. We didn't talk about it yet. But now we're on the same team now, man. I'm a TNA fan now. I've said it. I said I'm on Team TNA because I love what TNA is doing. They're making sure they're telling these workers, I don't care what you want, you work for me, and we will extend your contract so you can keep working for me. They are getting rid of Scott D'Amore because they know it's the right call. And even though TNA is not good, eventually, if we stick with this management style, TNA will be okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, hey, make TNA okay again.
Make it okay again. Speaking of which, I couldn't get the video up this week, but next week I have a special presentation for Eric, and it's gonna, since we're on the same side now, it's gonna show him some history, some stuff on the TNA Impact Wrestling how it inspires other media. So stay tuned for that next week. I'm gonna play it on the podcast. Let's see. Mr. All Power Man, take it easy, buddy. He's throwing his flops out there. Phantom X throwing their flops out there. Got a Boom Noosh in there.
That's right. Shame him.
Eric sounds like the EVP Young Bucks.
I'm at to fire Zach for doing some no showing.
I will say that was hilarious how they fired Kenny. Talk about, he's gone for some mysterious reason. They don't know what. Like, what could edit how they fired him. We know that he has a disease going on right now. Great stuff. Very hilarious. A great way to debut Okada.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to get to that in a bit. What are you guys' thoughts on the AEW Dynamite new set?
Those portals do not look. I don't know why, but I want to make fun of them. There's something about the portal I just do not like. But I still love the portal idea. I've always loved that, so I'm glad they kept it. But it's just something about, I don't know. It just looks like the rings just don't look right to me. I don't know why.
Something's up with that, man. That ring, I don't know.
Yeah. But otherwise, like the color's good. I like it. Nothing beats original Dynamite design for me with the explosion, but I like this. This looks crisp.
Yeah. It grew on me. When you see it live, it looks a lot better. Along with the new look, they have a new theme song by Mikey Ruckus, who does like all their wrestler theme songs pretty much. It's a solid theme. I know Zach has his thoughts on it. We'll get to hear from him soon, but I thought it was a solid theme song. Yeah, those rings look a little crazy. Besides that, the color scheme also, it looks so much like 2.0, man. I think it's hard to really, they might have to change it up.
Like NXT 2.0?
Yeah, it looks a lot like NXT 2.0, especially when you see like around the ring, the LED lights they have around there. Yeah. But
I need them to. Was it the most okay promotion in the biz today?
TNA, man.
Hey, and you know what? Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need to get back to basics. Maybe that'll help us be okay. I do. I think Dynamite needs to find a like. We looked at WWE designs for their shows. Everybody's got a favorite. Like, I love the Raw is War one. They got the giant fist. I think AEW needs to find their iconic one. I don't know if they can. Maybe they need to steal a giant fist from the warehouse.
But oh my gosh!
Get something just to stand out for one era.
I would say I feel like they do need some type of like identity, like whether it's the something like not a fist, but like something. And then with a match type too. Like when I think of TNA, I think the X Division and like the Ultimate X match they have. When you look at WWE, they get the Rumble, Elimination Chamber, all these type of identifying matches. I think AEW might need something like that. I know they have Blood and Guts, but that kind of came from WCW. So I want to see if someone can like have their own.
Honestly, I miss the. I almost pitched this for Revolution. I miss the Lights Out match because I like the idea that kayfabe, it's a match that has no result, like no, doesn't matter in the rankings.
Who was the last Lights? Oh, it was like Kenny did one with Mox like the first time around. They had the Lights Out match. I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like who did those matches. Okay, I can see that.
And then I think Mox might have had them the most, but he
definitely probably.
Yeah. But I always like the idea also, like, because I was thinking if they really wanted the championship match to main event, then they could just have, what was it? not stick. I don't know. You can always have the real main event be the lights out match because they always say like once the lights go
Oh,
off and AEW is officially over, and it's like
yeah.
I like that kayfabe. That was a little fun.
That was some year one AEW stuff. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fun
back when they had
idea.
AEW Dark.
Oh man,
Yeah, but let us know what you guys think about it. Miss All Power's liking the cameras, the rings. I will say when you see it live, it kind of does look like Kenny's logo a little bit, a little bit,
mm.
but they look like something else a lot more. Anarchy in the arena, stadiums and P. That's true. That is a AEW identifying matches for sure.
What's
Um,
Anarchy in the arena again?
it's kind of like what they did for Stadium Stampede, but they just did it in the ring. Like we know when they played all the theme song, like it played Mox's theme song throughout the whole match, and they were fighting. It usually happens at Double or Nothing.
That sound. This was it good? Because it sounds like you're
No,
saying that they played the theme song
they've
all
been
the time.
insane. They've been really good. They've done it at Double or Nothing. They've been really good. Especially there, see it live. It's still even in crazier.
Holy
I think they
shit!
did
I've
one at
been.
Wembley's too. I think they did Wembley as well.
Hey God, I gotta get back into AEW.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I like the Stadium Stampede anymore. I first
It
one,
worked for pandemic.
yeah. I love cinematic matches. I really do. But the Stadium Stampede at times can feel silly.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely. I don't think that can like when I said that, I pretty much said like their own like Royal Rumble, like their attraction. Like they need something like that for like a pay per view.
Yeah.
You can't have Stadium Stampede be like a pay per view. It has to be like it worked for pandemic. I'm glad they're not doing it anymore, which makes sense. But speaking of cinematic matches, also Matt Hardy's contract's coming up soon at the end of this month, and I don't know if AEW is going to renew it or not.
If they I don't if they do, I feel like it's gonna come down to money. I feel like they're gonna lowball him because TK was never huge into the broken stuff. And Matt, I don't know. I don't think Matt's happy with what he's doing right now. So it's
I don't.
it's 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 gonna be tough.
He's definitely not happy with it. I'm glad we got all these Hardy compound matches he did. The final deletions, elite deletions. But I think it's kind of run its course. Like he got bad timing when a pandemic happened. He debuted in AEW. He couldn't really do exactly what he was wanting to do with the crowd. So that really hurt his character, and he had to change his character before the pandemic even ended. So he never really got a fair share with it. And then when Jeff came back, they're supposed to win the tag titles. Then Jeff had his issues. So it's like there's a lot of missed opportunities. And I think right now it's just too much talent for him to like really do too much on the main roster. I like to see him on Ring of Honor, maybe do help boost that up a little bit. And that's not a knock on him, but I think he actually could help them out, and there's time for him there. So I think maybe that might be the best course of action if he stays with the company.
You know what that made me sad for a second because I was just reading about how Isaiah Thomas is in the G League, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
damn, Isaiah Thomas was like really good like back in the day.
yep.
But age will hit us all. So I guess Matt is in that time where maybe he does need to go to Ring of Honor and
Yeah.
bring that veteran
I,
style.
I will say too though, with Jeff, he was actually wrestling like he was hooping for a bit, but then Sammy hurt him and got him a concussion. And they were getting like consistent matches. He was like on TV for like a month straight, 4 straight rampages, maybe a dynamite in there. So
Was he
there's still
actually
some
good?
juice there. He was cooking, bro. He was doing his thing. And then that's the thing with Sammy. Like I like Sammy. He's very athletic. He's solid in the ring. He's had some crazy spots, but he always hurts people like recklessly. That's why he got
Both
suspended. 'Cause
parties.
it wasn't because he hurt him, because he hit his shooting star press and like his knee landed on Jeff's nose, broke his nose, and concussed him. It wasn't obviously mistakes happen in wrestling. It was the IQ, which afterwards he said he hit his finisher on him instead of just like doing a roll up pin or trying to end the match quick. He went for the finisher, and that's why he got suspended.
Here's my only concern about this. I mean, common sense says, yeah, you should not have done that. Um, did the referee? Do we know the referee told him that he was
Oh,
like he was?
that was my idea too. I was like, was it communicated? And it was like the ref had put like obviously we're not supposed to see that, but the ref had put it into Jeff into concussion protocol, and like they had to follow the protocols, and Sammy didn't. So I don't know if he was
Okay,
really briefed on the rules or even knew, but the protocol was initiated and he didn't follow it.
then yeah, Sammy. I was about to say something mean. Sammy's. I literally said I was about to say something mean, and it almost came out again. He screwed up. He should know better. He's been there from year one. Like he should know the rules.
That's the thing, man. And he's not had a good time with the Hardy Brothers. I mean, he also busted Matt open with that chair years back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Fucking. When I said it was both Hardy Brothers, I was thinking of when they did that spot where Matt flew off that fucking scaffolding onto concrete for some reason.
You know who that match was against?
Yeah, that was Sammy, right?
Yeah, it was Sammy.
Yeah.
Not saying that's his fault.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of when I said the injury thing, but I forgot about the chair.
Yeah, he threw that chair at him like kind of recklessly.
Oh man, yeah. We don't like Sammy anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I think the way that I talk about Nia Jax, I say that all my dislike of her was because of safety. But I think Sammy is now in my Nia Jax column.
Sammy's wild. Again, I don't hate the dude. I want to see him succeed because he's very talented, but he's got to work on some things, man. This is like his third or fourth time getting suspended. AEW's already been around for 5 years, man. What are we doing?
The crazy thing is, if he does, they can't fire him. Like, I'm not saying he deserves it, but if this keeps happening, WWE would snatch him up.
Honestly, I don't know. Probably you're probably right, but I don't think it's like a for sure thing.
I could see a call being made. I could see that maybe doing a tryout or something and having him in NXT. It would be a weird pickup, especially was he and Cody? Were they cool? Were they?
I know Cody sold for him. He was the first match on Dynamite ever with Cody. He was Cody's last match, but I don't know how cool they are outside. I'm not fully sure.
Yeah, because I mean, we know Ricky Starks and Cody are like insane.
Yeah, we know where Ricky's going with his contract.
Yeah. We know. And he's gonna try and get away from Edge and go to WWE.
Yeah, I really hope Ricky does stay in AEW for a little bit and like gets a proper shake at it, maybe a world championship or something. He's definitely earned it, but we definitely seems like he might be going to WWE.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Dynamite thing, and I think there's so much talent, man. If you've seen Dynamite last week with Will Ospreay, the ratings they're not going up. Like they dropped a little bit to 700,000. I can't wait. I don't know if it's because things people are getting away from TV and cable, but to have all that talent, man, I want to see the ratings start boosting. I want to see the crowds being packed out again. Because right now the product is hot. What's happening in the ring, what's going on is amazing. So I want to see that resonate with the ticket sales and people showing up in the ratings. Because AEW deserves, man. I want to see them stick around.
It's crazy because you're right. Like you said before, this might be the most talented roster of all time.
I will put that. I want to get that on wax. I will put it on tape. I'm saying it here. AEW right now is currently the most talented roster ever assembled in professional wrestling. I'm saying it here. Put my name on it. Final boss. The only final boss.
Zach, when you put this up, this I want this short. I want this link to be posted everywhere. Yeah. We got to see. Everybody needs to see this declaration. Only thing that's tough though is that.
Yes, sir.
That's a good callback. Only thing that's tough though, we've got Will Ospreay, we got Okada, two amazing ass wrestlers that the casuals don't really know about. They've got Tony Khan has to find some way to get the casuals to know how amazing these the people he's got right now are, and if he does, then it's a lock. Then people will start showing up. But he's got to start tapping into that casual market.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and I truly believe Mercedes, when she gets there, she'll do that. I think she kind of knows how and has that pull. We'll see how it goes. But next segment we got to go on here. Back to Revolution, just to talk about it with Sting's last match. I don't know how much you got to see, but Darby jumped from a ladder through a glass table. Sting wrestled his ass off. He was taking bumps. He wrestled like this was his last match. They came out to Seek and Destroy. He had a movie theater pre-entrance, to go see all his highlights and kind of see it was Showtime for the last time. I thought this was one of the best send-offs of all time. this what right here was incredible, man.
Yeah, if for some reason AEW were to fold in the future, this would be one of those things that we look at as like, thank goodness AEW existed, because this was special. This was a great moment. And I just want to lay it down. As Cole Money says, it's time for me to lay down the wood, because
Yo, come on, dog.
it's because I basically produced this match. I said it, that Sting would want to go out the loser, but everybody else around him would want him to win, and apparently that is what happened. Also, Knock, I don't know if you and Zach kept track, but I'm pretty sure that the predictions championship stays with me. I think I might have only missed one prediction. I can't remember which one it was, though.
We'll give it to you this time.
But this was a special match, and I'm glad that they went out as champions, because that would have been a hole in the kayfabe, that they were undefeated, but they never got tag titles. I think eventually we would have been wondering what was up with that.
That's true. I'm glad, and that's another thing. Sting didn't want to win the belt; he wanted to just do his own thing. It was good that they got the championships. It was good he went out undefeated, because you don't see someone go on a run like this and win their last match. I think it made sense for the story too, with the Bucks beating up his kids. So I think it made sense. You can't just lose it. You go home but don't resolve that. So the way they built it, it made sense. I don't know if you know, but the one in his that's Sting's original gear. Both his sons are wearing like his original gear from when he debuted in the 80s.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. And then the one with the American stripes right there, he came out. He actually has a Destiny 2 YouTube channel. He's a Destiny 2 streamer. And he pretty much came out and said, like, he's been training for this moment these past weeks. He hasn't put videos for his channel. So you got a gamer in the Stig household.
Which, I mean, that channel's going to blow up now. Or
probably
yeah. But I did not know that there was no shade on him, but I didn't know Destiny 2 was a game that people were still streaming nowadays.
I think it's died off a little bit, but it was hot for a bit, bro. That community is like strong.
That's okay. It's crazy. Props to Bungie. I guess they've got a game that is still worth streaming. Meanwhile, Halo is
fuck Bungie,
flopping in a bad way.
Put my name on it as well. Fuck Bungie, because I used to love Bungie because of Halo, obviously. And I like it for Destiny. I love playing Destiny. My brother's, that's his favorite game. But Sony bought that Bungie a few years ago, and you think, oh, why are you buying them? Maybe for Destiny. You don't have Halo because Xbox owns the Halo franchise. They bought them to consult on their studios for the live service games. Bungie consulted Naughty Dog and told them, hey, what you're doing here with the Last of Us factions, that's not going to cut it for the live service. We're the masters over here. We need you to do something else. So with all that time they spent on that game, Bungie coming in and pretty much get them like the no, it's not okay. They had to put that game on ice, and whatever was going on with Naughty Dog, they never got back to it. They're spread too thin to make their other games, so they ended up canceling it. So because of Bungie, I can't play Last of Us Factions 2. And then not to mention, they're supposed to be some experts. Destiny 2 is losing money. They didn't hit their marks, but they some experts.
To be fair, you don't take someone who's been making Xbox all this money, you don't take them and say, hey, can you fix our PlayStation? That's bringing a wolf into the I can't say the fucking expression. Somebody please say it for me.
It is the
hen house. Yes. Thank you.
There we go. It's been a long day for us, but we've been working.
But
that's what I'm saying. We didn't even need the help. When we knew what we was doing, they were killing it.
But I will say this though, as sad as I am that you won't get to play it, hearing a live service game failed is music to my ears, because I fucking hate live service. I hate that it's a concept that is becoming popular. It is the new microtransactions for me. It's something that should not be popular, but everyone's fucking doing it, and I hate it.
I hate this thing. Like when Call of Duty was popular, everyone said, "Oh, let's copy Call of Duty. Let's try to do everything they're doing." That's not how you got to do it. Like variety works. The reason like some of these games pop off, like you have Paul World, Helldivers 2, it's because they're different and like they're putting it into the good games. So like you don't have to copy everything people do. Like you could be different. But the way the gaming industry is, I get it. Like it's hard to take chances on things. If it fails, and you might shut down. But like we gotta like I don't know, man. Like, get back to innovation.
I will say, Pal World's lawyers are gonna play that clip of you saying that it's different with Pokemon
Different from Fortnite and all the other ones, all the popular ones. They're the same battle royale shooter. That's what I mean. It's not different from Pokemon.
Yeah, I heard it
Let's
here.
clear that up. I'm not getting sued by Nintendo. Nintendo just begged some dude for making an emulator. Did you see that case? He's owed like $2 billion or something crazy.
Bro, it's fucking crazy how hard Nintendo goes in court. It's ridiculous.
Them lawyers represent the Yakuza or something, bro. Them lawyers ain't joking. They
oh
big,
man,
bro.
It's fucking crazy.
Game over. Shout out to Steak, man. Shout out to everything they're doing, man. And that was
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm excited for this because we're on the same team again. We're both Team TNA now. Godzilla, we're on the same team now. We're all TNA fans now. I don't know if you got the memo, but I'm a TNA guy now too. Godzilla, I didn't go to a live TNA, but I see the light. As everyone in the chat already knows, I see what management is doing. I see their vision. We got that Scott D'Amore out the door. We made sure that the proper leadership is in place. All right? We are making talent work whether they like it or not. And you know what? Maybe we'll even bring back, forget 6-sided rings. We need a 20-sided ring like D&D style.
What's up, Attila, man? Welcome to the chat. I gotta cut him off. He's a guy that he wants TNA to be okay, but I'm still telling him about Attila, when you watched AEW last night and you see the tunnels and you see Christian Cage. I was talking about the Christian Cage coalition back in the day, right? You had Tomko and you had AJ Styles. And what are we seeing now in AEW? It's Christian Cage with another big man, Kill Switch Luchasaurus, and it's AJ Styles, which is Nick Wade. Everywhere I see TNA, Attila. We see the tunnels are back, and I'm telling them that Tony Khan is the biggest TNA fan, and we're seeing it ever. We see Sting get a proper send-off. I hope he calls Kurt Angle next for a proper send-off. But one day, we're working on them. We're going to get those live streams. Our schedules are really crazy right now, but Eric is going to be live streaming a TNA match very soon, and I'll be there, and we're going to have the time of our lives.
I said I would do it, and you know what? I'm just going to end Attila. End of the day, all I want, because again, TNA will never be good. As a fan of TNA, I can say that TNA will one day be okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've been okay for the past 20 years. You can't kill them. If you're in chat right now, you can check out Attila on her channels, Rangers of Wrestling. Also, I think, is it bodyslam.net where you do the TNA wrap up every Thursday? Definitely check her out there as well. A lot of cool stuff going on. TNA is great.
Hey, it'll be okay someday. Hashtag TNA is okay.
Oh man. But going off from this, there was a lot of crazy debate. You know who was just in TNA a few months ago? Will Ospreay. And people are saying they were no selling. They were saying, people were trying to say this was a bad match. I want to put this out there. You put my name on it again, Zach, if you're gonna make the shorts for this. Match of the year. Right now, for me, it's match of the year. For them to not say they weren't selling. Did you see the top left corner when Takeshita took Will Ospreay's head off? Tell me that wasn't selling. When Ospreay had to show his butt in the post show because he took a brain buster and almost broke his spine. You can't tell me they weren't selling. Listen, when you have a series of moves in a sequence and then they power up, that's the fighting spirit. That's a New Japan thing where you've seen mostly, or they kick out at one and they power up. Like that's some anime shit. You can't tell me that's not cool. Like. And it's not like once they do that and they power up and they have the finished sequence, they sell for 30 seconds, 40 seconds. They're in pain. They're on the floor. Like, it's just different ways of telling a story throughout the match. This match was absolutely phenomenal. And for right now, it's my match of the year. Eric, I know you've seen Discourse on our channel right now with the short, but what are your thoughts on Ospreay versus Takeshita?
I see both sides of the debate. I will say this. My stance is I use this match whenever we talk about no selling big spots. Lio Rush as Blackheart takes a power bomb off a ladder and immediately stands back up. And I was fine with that spot because the thing is, forget the character, forget the sequence, forget the match, forget all that. A human being took a power bomb off a ladder and stood back up. That is fucking hard. That shit hurts. If Ospreay and Takeshita take a spot, they take a fucking brainbuster, they take whatever, and they stand back up after, that is a legit person taking a move that hurts. Like, that fucking ring ain't soft. We've taken bumps, and they're getting back up.
That's the thing. It wasn't like they were doing anything outrageous. It wasn't like it was like a million super kicks for no reason, a million Canadian destroyers for no reason. They're just bouncing off. Like, it flowed and it made sense what they were doing. Like, I don't understand if they'd hit like 5 Canadian destroyers, got up, ran around for a little bit, but it was power moves. When he hit his elbow right there, he did the pin. Like, it was a lot of stuff that flowed. And you know when people do a spot and they take too long to set it up, there was none of that. Everything made sense. Like, these two, this is the first time these two touched, and like chemistry was off the charts. So for me, we need the Styles Clash. It was game over after that. I was a result of this being the greatest match of all time. But yeah, I think some of these people were just outrageous with some of the stuff they were saying about how this match being a bad match. You can't go out there for this amount of time and steal the show, and then you tell me it was kind of nitpicky what I was seeing. But yeah, let us know in chat if you've seen the match, what you guys think. I hope they run it back. It was very well done, man. They were getting praise from a whole bunch of people. I forget who said it, but someone was saying some like legend was saying like he didn't know Will Ospreay was this good. It might have been Lex Luger, it might have been somebody else that was there for the Sting retirement, but Ospreay, he's already killing it. He might be the best wrestler in the world right now, especially in AEW.
Which is like you said, that legend saying that he didn't know. They need to get the casuals and everybody else to know how good they are. I will say, I think one thing that would help Ospreay, and Takeshita and everybody else who wrestles this fast pace sort of, I don't want to say no selling, but there is some no selling in their matches. Like there are times when they do hit a move and they do just kind of continue the sequence. But I think what would help them is AEW as a whole needs to find wrestlers who wrestle a more traditional pace. I think if they really need to be a variety show so that you can appease the people who don't like this style. So they can be happy with that, and you can be happy with this, and you guys no one has to attack each other's favorite type of match.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have some guys like that. I mean, I'm trying to think of their roster, but they definitely have those slower pace guys. It's just like if you see that, I don't think then they're going to complain like, oh, it wasn't a good match. They're going to complain that it didn't fit on the card. Why is this is like a Dynamite match? Or it just never making people too happy. I see, because look at the main event scene right here. You have Ospreay, Takeshita, Okada, Omega, Swerve, Joe, Hangman, Danielson. There's an embarrassment of riches here, and people just got to find something to complain about.
Well, see, then you might have just actually you might have proven that I'm wrong then, because I was thinking Joe wrestles a traditionally slower pace, yeah.
And every now and then, like he has those moves, people will power up. I think was it last week someone kicked out of the Muscle Buster, like
Hook.
Yeah, it just and that made sense for his character. That did a lot for him because it's not like it happens all the time. He was gonna lose that match anyways. And it made it like not a throwaway match. It made like, oh, Hook is gonna try to match Joe. Like this is cool stuff. He's building himself up. So I thought it worked. So
yeah,
I think there's certain things I don't like either. Like where you jump out the ring. There's like 10 people out there to catch you. There's certain things I get, or you take forever to set up the spot. As long as it makes sense and it flows for me, that's why I think it's fine. That's what I thought happened here.
I do think there is a part of it it's always going to be a change, like a different style, because this is Ospreay and Takeshita wrestled a faster pace match that traditionalists aren't going to like. So I can't fault them for it, but they also don't have to hate the match for. You don't have to be a hater.
There was also someone saying, what was it they said? Not just the no selling, not just like how quick the match was. They try to say like it just wasn't. Wow, I'm blanking out here. I don't know what they said. That's one of our comments. Let me check it out here. I would get it exactly what they said here, because they're trying to say it didn't make no sense. Again, this is the first time these guys have ever been in the ring together, and like that was incredible to me on its own.
Right. I think when Ospreay and Danielson as Phantom X saying, when they wrestle, I think the pace will be more closer to moderate. I think people will like that one a lot.
Okay, that's what this guy said. He said this it was like watching a musical dance routine. Listen, did you see Will Ospreay's back? This is not no dance routine, bro. Come on. They hit hard. And Takeshita don't play. He be blasting people, man. He be trying to knock people out in the ring. I don't know if you've seen his hit on Chapada, on a few of on Ishii, or Ishii. He be trying to blast people. He knocked Will Ospreay out. So good stuff.
Jeez.
And it's safe. They look like, obviously gonna have some bruises, but he's not like injuring people out there, but it looks good.
Yeah.
That's good. My point on the thing. Let us know in the chat what you guys think. Next up, this is for all the floppers out there. We're going to introduce this new segment called Splash of the Week. And it has to be the Rainmaker, Okada Kazuchika. This man's making $4.5 million a year to come over here. Hey, the water's wetter over here, Eric. What do you think about the Splash of the Week, Kazuchika Okada debuting and joining the EVPs, the Young Bucks?
I'm excited for it. I'm not excited for the fact that his first feud's going to be Eddie Kingston, but if this gets him the titles right off the bat, which makes sense, if he gets the titles, I'm pretty sure it's still connected to New Japan, right? Those 3 titles, one of those.
So
New Japan
the New Japan Strong one, which I don't want to see him win that. I feel like that's like a step down. That kind of doesn't make sense for him to win that. Knowing he's like the longest reigning IWGP champion in history. Just have him win like either the Ring of Honor World Title or the AEW Triple Crown, not Triple Crown, the AEW Continental Championship.
I want him to win it because I don't care about the New Japan side of it. Like they can use that as a way of keeping him in New Japan to keep New Japan happy. But I want it more for the sake of just having gold on him and having to be a prominent player in AEW.
Yeah.
So
I think if he wins that belt, if this happens at Destiny, Omega or Okada versus Kingston, I'm pretty sure he'd be the fastest person to win a championship in AEW. Like, not like a new person coming in to win a championship. And it's cool to keep the New Japan Strong belt on Kingston, keep all these other belts, but I don't want to see Okada win all of them. I want to see him win like one of them, break up the Triple Crown, and win one of them at least.
I thought the 3 of them were one title. I thought
I think he defends it as one title, but I want to see them separated because I don't want him to see the win in Japan one because I think that wouldn't make sense. He's moving over here. He's relocating to the United States. So like I think he's like done with them for a bit. It'd be kind of weird for him. Like I'll go back to a few nights, but my main thing is over here in the States.
Oh, that's crazy! I didn't know he was actually moving. I thought he was gonna do the Ibushi thing.
So I want to see him like stay over here and like just go after AEW because again, it would be kind of weird for him to win New Japan Strong. It just doesn't make sense to me to see that.
Okay, because I could have sworn when they announced this tournament, the whole idea was that those 3 would be combined into one cross promotional championship. That the 3.
Yeah, the rollout for that was kind of weird because when you did the C2, the Continental Classic, I thought it was gonna be a yearly tournament. I didn't know you're winning a belt and you become a champion for that year. So, and then like when Eddie Kingston was in, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna combine all these belts for a Triple Crown." So I don't know if it's all gonna be one thing because that'd be kind of weird to have your Ring of Honor World Championship combined with one. Like, I don't know.
All right, if it's 3 separates, then yeah, he can win one title. I assumed that it was going to be consolidated.
Yeah.
But if it's
he's been defending him as one. I will say that. The other thing too, which I think if this is how Tony Khan's going to play it out with the Continental Classic, you know how in the G1 class, in the G1 in New Japan, the world champion competes in the tournament as well, and if you win, you get to call out your opponent. It'd be cool to do that with the Continental champion. You can compete in the tournament as well, and if you win, you get something else. So I think that'd be cool to have your champion in tournament as well. They're going to take that from New Japan, it seems like.
True. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
But Splash of the Week, shout out to that, the Rainmaker himself. This is a new one again for our podcast. Anyone out there, I want you guys to know we're going to have fantasy booking going on each week. I'm going to present a matchup at the close of the show. This week's fantasy matchup of the week. How would you book Braun Breaker versus Wardlow? In a chat, man, hit us up. Who goes over? Is it a squash? Is it a 30-minute classic? Is it big, meaty men slapping meat? How do you do it? For me, in this one, I love Wardlow, man. It's going to be a crazy match. I think I look back at some of those, like Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, where it's just like I can't be referencing that match, but it's just finisher after finisher. This is a match I think like if you hit a big finisher, I think it's fine to jump up and do some crazy stuff. Like this is what I think the no selling kind of works because you see these Braun Breaker's one of the quickest guys to run the ropes. I must call it right here. I like Wardlow, but he goes for the F10, spins him out. Braun Breaker catches himself, hits a crazy spear through a table. 1, 2, 3 for the victory. I think Braun Breaker right now is hotter. I think you get the victory in this matchup of the week against Wardlow. How would you book it, Eric?
I would have to give him a best of 3 matches. The first 2 are squash fest. First one, Braun just keeps hitting spear after spear and then finisher and takes the win. Squash, Goldberg style squash. Second one, he's feeling all cocky. He's like, oh, I'm going to fucking beat him. This time, Wardlow's the one doing the squash and powerbomb after powerbomb after powerbomb. They're squashing each other. Third one, we have a legit, basically what you're saying, a finishers where they can get up. Like, we actually have a real match. But I'd give it to Braun. I don't know. It's mainly TK's fault. I've lost faith in Wardlow a bit. It's not anything Wardlow's done. It's just the booking.
Yeah, I think that time off really didn't help him. And kind of going in this new faction. If we didn't see him in a faction already, I think this would make more sense. I really want to see Adam Cole. I didn't mention him with all the talent they have. Adam Cole is on a freaking roster. He's hurt. If he didn't get hurt, I think this faction would be a lot hotter than it is right now. So
yeah. There's so many people that could be world champion right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I think right now these two are like definitely still killing it. Definitely got the physique. Definitely still got bright futures. But I would pick Braun right now with a crazy spear over Wardlow. That'd be a great win. I think it'd be a solid match. These two go at it, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a nice little crossover.
But yeah, that is our show. And again, if you're looking for the main man, Zach, the main man, Zach, has been drafted to Friday nights. He'll be here tomorrow for Rampage. He's on a tour right now, so he can't make our regularly scheduled podcast. But he'll be back at the end of the month for sure. Catch him on Fridays if you were missing the Rampager, Zach. But it's been a good show, man. We're on an off day. This is Thursday. We should do it on Wednesdays. Check us out every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Talk with your boys. Hit the chats, hit the comments. Everyone in the chat, man, really appreciate all you guys. Eric, any final thoughts?
I appreciate all the flops in the chat we had today. I appreciate all you checking out the voice acting stuff. And I appreciate Knock for running the ship so well, so clean. And most importantly, I appreciate TNA because I see the work y'all are putting in as a fellow TNA fan, as someone who wants to see TNA thrive, who wants people to watch TNA, who wants people to support TNA. I just want y'all to know we are coming out the other side soon. The dark cloud that is TNA quality will pass, and someday soon, TNA is going to be okay.
Somebody cut this man's mic, man. We'll see you guys next week. I got some evidence for Eric next week to bring him more on the TNA side. Shout out to all the poppers, the floppers, the rampagers. Check out our tier list. We have a streaming tier list on the channel right now. We have our opinions on Star Wars right now. And Zach's shorts are flopping in the wind right now. Check them out. We have a lot of stuff going on for you guys. Shout out to
I don't know if I like you. I don't know if I like you using my catchphrase in that way.
Oh man, we're the same side now, man. We gotta figure it out. It's a 2-man band for the next month. We gotta come together. Come together.
Oh God!
Right now.
Oh Jesus, Zach, where are you at? We need you back.
We need you, the main man carrying the load. I'll see you guys next week, man. Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.